Welcome to episode 3 of the bow build series. I'm out here in the backyard range today getting ready to start here at the 10-yard line with some of the rough tuning on the bow itself. I'm going to be adjusting nock height today, as well as getting the bear shaft close and ready to go for whenever my fletched arrows are done, and we can start down the arrow tuning process. But today is just going to be, like I said, kind of zeroing some stuff in on the bow itself and getting close on those bear shafts here at the 10-yard line and seeing if we can't get things within a reasonable parameter for whenever it comes time to do the serious arrow tuning. So let's fling some arrows. So when it comes to bear shafting, I am not going to bear shaft with just a purely bear shaft. You'll see here I have added some painter's tape to the back end of this arrow, simulating roughly the same amount of weight that the 4 trad vanes are going to equal, because whether you realize it or not, just the lightweight fletchings on the back of your arrow can alter the tune if you're trying to bear shaft without taking that into consideration. Never bear shaft with bear shafts. So let's start flinging some arrows. As you saw there, that's still pretty weak, so I'm going to go ahead and take another 1/2 inch off of this arrow. I'm just going to work in small increments at a time so it don't get carried away and accidentally cut too much off, and see what happens then. Shorten it down to 33.5 inch. Well, I had to move things down in here in the basement to wrap up. I'm gonna fire one more shot just to make sure things are fairly close on the spine with the bear shaft, just to get things roughed in and ready to go for the fletch shafts. And that'll be pretty well it for the rough tune. One last thing I wanted to mention, I did end up having to alter the rest. I had to move up off the shelf and get it on an elevated rest. This is a bear archery weather rest. And then I moved up the piece of D-loop material, glued on the riser with the Velcro over top. What was happening was I was really having to chase my nock point up. I was getting almost to around the 1 inch nock high mark, and I was still getting nock low arrow flight. So I knew something was going to have to change, and I'm not really willing to adjust limbs on these or tiller with the limbs. So I opted instead to go with an elevated rest like I've had on my prior setup, and that worked perfect. It ended up ultimately being about right at exactly 5/8 nock high by the time it was all said and done, rather than an inch. So that definitely was the fix, and everything is seemingly flying pretty true now as far as the nock high and low. So that was the only real change on the bow itself. Other than that, I think we're pretty close on this until we're ready to do the fine tuning with fletch shafts. Well, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Stay tuned in for episode 4, which is going to be the tune with fletch shafts and the micro tuning and really getting stuff dialed in. I should be getting my fletch shafts back here pretty quick. So anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. Be sure to tune back in, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss when my next videos drop, and shoot straight, guys.